Hi everyone, this is Joe from the Jodocast. If you enjoy what we do here at the Jodocast and think it's worth your hard-earned money, you can support the show via Patreon. The show is ad-free and we depend on the support of our generous patrons to pay our bills, upgrade old equipment, and bribe Imperial officials. Just a $2 donation gets you access to exclusive content such as off-topic discussion videos, uncut videos of the show, the ability to watch us record the show live and even chat with us as we do so, access to the patron-exclusive channel on our Discord server, access to YouTube videos before anyone else gets to watch them, and more. Consider becoming a Noodle Scooter today. And now back to the show. Welcome to episode 129 of the Jodocast, your Star Wars gaming podcast. I am Joe Lutovsky, joined this time not by Evan Lewis. Evan is, I don't know where he is. He's doing cool people stuff.
I don't know. He was sending me pictures of his boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance the other day. So.
He's playing the Sims 4 Journey to Batuu IRL. It's pretty cool that they made a theme park based on that Sims expansion. Leo Andrea is joining us, and special guest of honor is Kurt again. This time, not talking about Armada.
I was going to say, beep, beep, mother trucker. Get in, we're gonna go punch a moisture evaporator.
Is that what we do?
Because we're talking about a
the
truck.
AA5 speeder truck, which we'll get. That's the whole topic. All we're talking about is the AA5 speeder truck expansion for Legion. We're going to go through everything you could ever talk about with this truck. But, let's see. I'm not Evan, so I don't usually do this. What you been playing, Leo? You got 60 seconds.
Still nothing. I actually painted some stuff on Monday. I've now almost finished the base layer on my Jodocast. I started painting this
what is that?
Silhouette template.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
You can see through it. That's kind of fun.
'Cause yeah, it's not like an acrylic one. It's
3D printed.
No,
it's
it's laser cut from wood instead of
cool.
Acrylic. And I just received today, one of our listeners sent me 15 pounds of Star Wars CCG cards.
Woo!
Wow.
I was
got
not
good
expecting
listeners.
that. He posted pictures of like a small pile of cards and then two of the anthology boxes. And since he only posted pictures of just a few cards, and then he asked, "Hey, do you want this?" I said, "Yes, I do." And I was just expecting just to get those few cards in the boxes, because he didn't. I offered to pay, and he said, "No, you just need to pay shipping." And then after he went and shipped it, he was all like, "You know what? Shipping was way cheaper than I thought it was going to be, so no, you don't even have to pay that." So I thought I was just getting a few cards and like 2 empty anthology boxes. No, the boxes were completely full. There was also a shoebox half full of cards in there also. So this is one hell of a haul, and I've been sorting these out.
I am imagining that like there was a knock on your door and there's like a disinterested delivery guy with a clipboard and he's like, "His name Leo, sign here." And then you sign and then he goes, "All right, boys, it's all yours." And then they like in a big like truck, they back up to your door and just dump all these cards. Like, "Have fun, fella." And they leave. And then a movie starts about how you're dealing with this.
So
my wife came downstairs and she's like, "You got like a giant package," and then we both chuckled. But then I was expecting a small box, and she's all like, no, it's really heavy. What is it?
Wow.
I was all like, it's a bunch of Star Wars cards, and she's all like, how much did you spend on them this time? So then I had to be like, nothing, I swear. This time it was free, for reals.
15 pounds.
Well,
so
shout out to the listeners, I guess.
Yeah.
You guys are great. Why don't you send me 15 pounds of stuff?
I mean, at least that's what the shipping label said. It said weight 15 pounds.
Oh, wait, 15 pounds. So this wasn't someone in the UK shipping 15 pounds sterling worth of...
No, it was not.
Kurt, what you been playing Star Wars wise?
I played some Star Wars Squadrons the other day, which is hopefully good footage.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see. It was fun to play. If it's a good video, we'll see.
Yeah. We stayed in character the whole time, changing characters every time we died, which was quite the exercise. So we'll see how that turns out.
It's honestly kind of distracting to have to think about character voices. I also, like a week or two ago, I for the first time got Clone Wars factions for Armada on the table, just against myself in the basement. I just played both sides, but it was really fun trying the new not the new ships that are now delayed like 2 months or whatever, but the Clone Wars starter sets. You know, those ships, those were fun to play against each other. In my case, I thought I made like balanced lists or whatever, but the Republic list really stomped the droids for me. It felt like the cards kind of worked a little smoother, just the ones I ended up picking or whatever. It's interesting. They're very different from the original ones, like a lot of different timings on some of the new cards. You have to worry about like having tokens like saved up to refresh stuff, which is different. So it was like it felt like a whole new game. And there's like new rules and stuff. So it was really cool to try out, even against just no other people. It was cool.
And I did Squadrons. I think I'm actually going to play a real game of Legion tomorrow.
Wow.
That reminds me, you've got your vaccination on the calendar, right, Kurt?
Yeah, I got my first round yesterday. So with 3 weeks and then 2 weeks after that for immunity, it's like mid-May. We can start to think about playing in person.
How to play Armada?
Yeah, I'll have to relearn Legion.
Oh, and I played Star Wars Risk Clone Wars Edition from 2005, which I'm working on a video right now. But the video is like over 2 hours long, so I'm like trying to figure out how to approach it. So it might take me a while to get that all edited.
The pictures looked cool, though. It's not what I expected the board to look like.
I mean, it was Risk. It was just basically Risk with a few extra things that made it more interesting than basic Risk. The most notable one is the Separatist player can like declare Order 66 at any point, and then at that point, for every Republic planet, they roll a die, and that planet has a chance to convert all of its units to Separatist. And the longer you delay doing Order 66, the better the odds are that the planets will flip. So that's kind of cool, because then the one team can kind of have their backs against the wall and then go, aha! And then all of a sudden, it's a different game. But it was still Risk. It was still a lot of rolling d6s and a lot of long... It was long. But, do we have any new patrons? Not that I noticed.
I don't know. That sounds cool, though. I like the idea of random nations basically flipping, and the board state is suddenly way different. Because I feel like normally when people talk about Risk, they're like, oh, here are the obvious places to invade or whatever. So it's like it goes the same way every time. But that bit of randomness sounds kind of neat. It's cool.
Yeah. We used to always play like with like a tech chart. that you could buy stuff off of. Like you could forego spending on adding armies and instead use it to buy like a technology, and then you like rolled like a D100 on this chart, and then it would give you some kind of bonus that could change the game up. I don't know. That was just like our own like house rule mod that we made up back when I was.
Yeah, the Clone Wars one, you can get ships that just kind of move around and give whatever army is there like a buff, like roll a D8 instead of a D6 if this ship is here, or add +1 to your highest die roll if the Corvette is there. But we're here to talk about the AA5 speeder truck expansion coming for Legion. And I don't know where are we starting with this. What? Leo needs a second.
Gotta take this. Hello?
It's an important call.
Hey.
We find out it's like Evan like calling in to like he's like watching live and he wants to correct.
Sorry, yeah. Besides sorting cards, I'm also working right now, so.
Let's see. We're talking about the Legion AA5 speeder truck. We're all gonna be truckers. Wonder. See, I don't think we have a outline for this episode. We're just gonna go through all the cards and say how we feel about it. But I would like to take some time at the end to brainstorm all of the cool ways you could mod or paint this thing, but save it for the end. Because we've already talked about that a lot, and I feel like there's way more. So, Leo, do you have a... I guess we should just start with the unit card.
Yeah.
Yeah, which... I mean, the unit card we've already
kind of
discussed a little bit, because that's been revealed, but...
Since a while.
I think it's good to start with it to get a baseline before we talk about
the stuff. Most notable thing is that it has no weapons. You have to spend points to give it weapons.
Yeah, it has no weapons, but it is a fairly cheap heavy vehicle at only 75 points.
With 8 health.
It's got armor and 8 health, yeah. And it does also surge on defense, although it's still rolling white defense, you're rebels, so... it only moves speed 1, but it's got the big long base, so that doesn't hurt it as much. It's got hover ground, so you can actually reverse and stand by.
And it's not a speeder, unlike the other Rebel vehicles, so you're not forced to move by default.
Mm-hmm. It's got reposition, so you can do a pivot after you move. And then, of course, it's got the transport one closed rather than open. And one sucky thing is it does have the rear weak point too. So if someone's shooting it from behind, they're going to get impact too, which is really bad.
But in some ways, I mean, I guess compared to the total size of the vehicle, the rear arc is small since it's that long base. So
yeah,
maybe it's not going to happen that often.
Yeah, it's not like, because I think it's not as bad as say like the Imperial tank, which had weak to the sides, didn't it?
Yeah,
I think so.
Because you're shooting the treads. So back isn't that bad. And I think the most interesting thing about it, like you said, it's very cheap compared to other... Well, it's a little more expensive than the land speeder, but it also has the most health of any Rebel vehicle. And it's really interesting that it doesn't have speeder, because you don't have to do the compulsory move, but also you don't get cover. So, I mean, you do have armor, so maybe you don't need the cover that often, but... I don't know. It's kind of an interesting baseline for the cost.
Yeah, and it won't like get donked by getting, because the break point is 6 and it has 8 already. So I feel like by the time you've hit that, it's not you're not going to worry about it too much.
Yeah, that's true.
But all of the cards in this pack have been revealed or leaked or whatever, right?
I guess I wouldn't really say leaked. It's just the fact that some of them
announced through different channels.
I was gonna say no. It's just some people in Europe have been and in other places have been getting their vehicles already. So they're not being leaked. It's just some people are getting their stuff.
Got it.
Because they had an announcement article that had a lot of them, and they had the mini extravaganza, which had more. But some of these, at least I had not seen. So yeah, you're right. They must have come from people scanning their own copies that they're getting.
Well, let's look at the crew.
Yeah, I believe it was Legion France or something like that. I forget the name of the site that posted a lot of these here.
The crew upgrade, because this thing has 2 crew upgrades, 1 pilot, 1 hardpoint, 1 comms. The crew upgrade, that's a new upgrade icon, at least as far as the rebels are concerned. No, the speeder, the other speeder had one, but all of the crews are like unique to those. There isn't yet a crew that can go on multiple vehicles.
Well, there will be with this, because the unstable R5 can go on...
Got it. Well, let's look at him first, because that's a cool one. It's the art from the... We've seen this art before in X-Wing.
Unhinged astromech.
Yeah, yep. I mean, I love the art. It does look like he's tweaking it as much as like a astromech can, but it's this says, A5 speeder truck or X-34 land speeder only, which I guess they just assume any future vehicles for the Rebels they put out shouldn't be allowed to have this. Because otherwise it would just be like Rebel only, but it's... at the end of this deplete card, it's got the little X there, so it's a one and done, 6 points, so pretty cheap. At the end of your activation, perform an attack or a move, then roll 3 black attack dice, suffer 1 wound for each hit or crit result. So essentially, after you're done, you either get to make a free attack or a free move, but you're likely going to damage yourself.
Yeah.
So
I guess, and that's all going to depend on, what weapons you have on there.
If a free attack is worth making, and if you're in the right position too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems very situational.
It's kind of
I feel
cool.
like it's not... It's cool. I don't think it's going to get a lot of competitive play because it's so uncertain. Competitive players don't like uncertainty.
And the drawback is really big. I feel like that's almost the biggest weakness. Since you roll 3, I mean, you could take none, but you don't even get to roll armor against it. You just take those wounds. So that's really risky. Like for the land speeder, that could finish you off pretty easily.
I feel like if somebody sees you with that, they're just going to go, I'm going to focus this thing even harder because it'll make them less likely to want to use their free attack or a free move, which I could see, getting yourself out of harm's way, but not quite as likely because unless you're trying to get out of the firing arc of an ATST or something.
Or if you really think, if you're doing an attack that you think would finish off a major unit, I guess it's worth the risk. But, you might be risking killing yourself, too. Is that worth it? It would be very funny to kill yourself with it.
And like we said, it doesn't have built-in guns, so the only weapon options are the AG-2G quad laser cannon. 36 points.
But 6 black dice.
6 black dice, impact 2, range 1 to 3. So that, I mean, if you're going to get a free attack, that seems decent for a free attack. That looks like it's probably going to be the go-to gun if you're outfitting this thing. 6 black dice
into a target in one turn, which is not bad.
No surge on attack is a little unfortunate, but 6 dice is still good, and there's no firing arc, so whichever direction.
Yeah, I mean, if you shot your normal and then popped that astromech and shot again, that could be a real rough turn for somebody. Because the other one, the heavy laser retrofit, is only 16 points. It doesn't seem that bad either. It's a red, white, black, range 1 to 4. As a rebel main player, getting guns that shoot past range 3 is always an exciting thing. Because for the longest time, it always felt playing against Empire, they're like, oh, they're always hitting me at range 4 and I can't hit back. But that's been changing lately. But still, a range 4 gun is cool. And critical 1, I think critical is one of the best keywords in the game.
Yeah.
Might just be me, but
that helps a lot. Because like an ATRT laser, 3 dice, honestly, isn't that useful all that often with cover and stuff. Critical helps with that at least.
Yeah, especially since they don't have this vehicle doesn't have surge. So
yeah.
I mean, I
don't know if I would necessarily pop my astromech with the heavy laser though myself.
I don't think so. That would definitely be a bigger gamble with that one. But the quad laser cannon, seeing just throwing 12 dice on a turn sounds pretty gnarly. So let's go back to the crew. The unstable R5 astromech is...
It's interesting, at least.
Yeah. I feel like you're not going to see it a lot, but when you do see it, it'll be funny. Because you're either going to get wrecked or it's going to whiff and just self-destruct the truck.
Truck... I don't know. Anyway.
We put the truck in self-destruction. Well, let's look at the other droid. The refurbished Gank droid.
Yeah.
Another art reused from X-Wing, which is fine. This one is also only equipable on both Rebel speeders. Let's see. You gain shielded 2. You have 2 shield tokens. During the end phase, roll a red die for each of your inactive shield tokens. For each block result, flip 1 inactive to active. So that seems, because we were already talking about it, this is 8 health, and now you're going to get 2 extra health on top of it for 10 points.
That can possibly regenerate.
Right, which is awesome. Because the only other way to get your shields back normally is by taking a recover action. So just having... And you roll red dice, so it's kind of like a 50-50 shot to regen a shield every turn.
Yeah, I think it's 50-50 because it's no surge, just a normal block. So, like, on average, you regen 1 shield per turn, probably, would be the assumption. So, I feel like for 10 points, that seems really good.
Yeah, I think it looks good, and I'm excited because I got the little Gank mini, so I'll find a little spot for him inside the model where I can stick him if I'm using that upgrade.
If you magnetize him, because you magnetized your speeder too, right?
My speeder is magnetized, so I can move the gunners to either side or just leave him off.
So now you can, because he can
stand him on the wing.
Speeder too. So
the only thing is, my Gank droid is already magnetized because I wanted to make him detachable from his base in case I wanted to use him, as like a mini for something or as like set dressing or on a vehicle. So he's magnetized. I can remove him from the base. When I did that, I was too lazy to check the polarity on the seats in the land speeder because it was buried in a box under some other boxes. So there is a 50-50 chance the Gank droid can ride on the thing or be ejected from it when he goes near it.
Sounds like you need to break those magnets off and redo them. This is of vital importance. I just ordered
or I'll put in a new
printed
magnet.
Gank droid, and I'm planning to do the same thing. I want to magnetize it for the truck. I don't know if I'll put it on the roof or what, but I think it would be cool to be able to stick it to the land speeder. And like the land speeder needs the extra health, I feel like it's a good upgrade for it. Do we know if it comes with multiple copies? Probably not, right?
I'm not sure.
That would be great if it did. Probably not.
I'm not sure.
I could put a new magnet on like the nose of the land speeder so he's like a hood ornament.
That's cool.
That'd be cool to get a Gank and like cut it in half and then make it look like kind of like an astromech socket on the speeder truck whatever. Or on the X-34, because if you remember in episode 1, season 1 of Mandalorian, the little shuttle comes up to take him to his ship and it's like a speeder like that but with a droid dome on it.
It's true.
And he's like, no droids, give me the speeder. So you could do that, but with like a Gank head sticking out.
That's a good point. We should come back to that when we talk about crafting at the end, because I think that's a cool idea we could actually drill down into more. Should we go on to the next card, or is there more Gank stuff we want to talk about?
Nah, Gank sounds...
I think it sounds good.
I just
Joe
think it sounds like a very good,
Gank
solid card.
all day long.
And it'd be cool if it lets the X34 get on the table again. I think that's a cool thing, but you never see it played.
Yeah.
The Backworld Medic. There's a little flame icon on tabletop.
That means...
Admiral. Does that mean a lot of people are using it?
Yeah, it's like the most common saved one.
This one is AA5 speeder truck only. Cannot put this one on the X34. As an action, remove 1 wound or poison token from, or restore 1 mini to a friendly non-droid trooper unit that you are transporting or at range 1 and in line of sight. So far, it's the same as the treat from a medical droid, but what's different is it says then roll 2 white defense dice. That unit gains 1 suppression token for each block and surge result, and it doesn't have, it's not a treat thing, so there's
no capacity.
You can use it unlimited times, because I like the med droids
thing.
But there's only 2 uses. This you can use unlimited, and it suppressing people isn't that big of a deal, especially with rebels. A lot of time it's nice to get that suppression on them for more cover. I think this sounds good, as I like using the medics and the repair units, because it can be frustrating for the enemy if they keep killing the same guy over and over again and you keep bringing him back.
Yeah, I could easily see this on the truck, just sitting immobile, basically, near some important unit, and then shooting and healing every turn. Could be really good. It's funny that you could suppress your guy, though. Like, it's a very scary doctor, a really big needle or something. They're like, no.
Or he's using, in Battlefront 2015, those Bacta grenades. He's just chucking these things at your guys' heads. Like, The art I like the art. It's a little Chadra fan dude.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it's a cool little tool that almost looks like a blowtorch for your flesh. Or a drill, maybe?
It's like the thing in Westworld that they used to just weld everybody's flesh back together.
Yeah, it's a back to welder. That's what that is.
It looks really cool. I think the one downside of the card is like taking up an action each turn makes it more limited. But it's still cool. I love it thematically, too, that you could heal someone who's, like, in the truck. You're like, okay, let me whisk you away and bring you back to health.
But remember, you might not have a weapon on this thing. You might just be using
this
it
could be
as
the whole
kind
point
of
of the truck.
Mobile med truck thing.
And I'm pretty sure if you're being transported, you don't have suppression tokens. So that other, potential downside is gone if you're treating the guy inside rather than, throwing syringes out the window.
I feel like they added that.
Didn't they change the rules where you can gain tokens while being transported?
Oh, yeah, I think they updated that.
I should probably look into that.
I apologize because, since I haven't played it so long, I honestly haven't paid much attention to the new rules changes at all, which is bad, but...
That would be if it did work like that.
It's hard to be too excited about random range.
Maybe if I play tomorrow, I'll use the X34 just so I can get the little guy on the table. Although I haven't even used my AAT yet, I kind of want to play with that. The last new crew is the Unorthodox Tactician, another art we've seen from X-Wing. I don't like the art for this card. He looks very orthodox, is what I'm saying. Not unorthodox at all. He looks very serious.
He should be a character in one of the early Star Trek films. One of the first couple Star Trek films.
Okay. He also looks like he could just be like a background character on the Normandy, like in Mass Effect when you walk along the bridge. He looks very orthodox. Like, that does not look like a guy who would.
I mean, maybe he dresses or whatever orthodox, but his tactics
from the waist,
his tactics are unorthodox. the docks.
Or maybe from the waist down. We're missing the context. He's wearing his like swim trunks. This is it. Can only be used in the speeder truck. At the start of the activation phase, roll 3 red defense dice for each block or surge result. Choose a different friendly unit that you're transporting, or at range 1 to 3. So that's a big bubble. And they all get aim tokens. That seems good.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't seen that one before either. But
it's only
that's
10
really great.
points.
And
at the start of the activation phase, just roll things, and then you could get 0 to 3 units that get a free aim. That seems super good.
And it's a block or a surge, so it's whatever that is, like 3/4 or...
Yeah, that's more than 50.
5/6 or something per... or 2/3, whatever it is, per die. So you're going to get probably multiple per turn. It's not a one use, so you can do it
It's not an
round.
action.
That's really cool.
All it does is take up that crew slot. I kind of dig that. Like, I feel like put him on there with the medic.
Go full support.
Leave the guns off, and then, you just got this little support
be
truck running around.
Like less than 100 points still. And it's... I don't know what I was just going to say. I had some really good point. Anyway.
That's all right. I'm just going to agree with your really good point.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
amazing.
Because it's the start of activation phase, right? So it's not like you have to wait till its turn. You'd actually give out the tokens before the people go, so it's really easy to use.
Yeah, it would be pretty bad if it was like at the start of your activation.
And then you have to go first. People want to shoot, but they have to wait. Yeah.
Yeah. I dig.
Only 10 seems really good.
Is that an Axe Cop art on the wall behind you?
Yes.
Nice. I was just thinking about Axe Cop today.
I need to look up and see. I'm hoping that guy might be problematic. I don't know. I haven't thought to look. I haven't looked recently.
I haven't read in years. I have the trades back when that was coming out as comics. Pilots. We have... You know what? Let's talk about the existing pilots and see if we think they'd be worth using on this thing before we look at the new pilots. We've got Wedge Antilles, who's only 1 point. He lets you pivot as a free action.
You already get reposition, so I guess this is only good if you're worried about
your weak spot. You can just keep swinging it away from people.
Pivoting before it's a free action, so you don't have to do it as your action, so that's good, I guess.
It's really cheap.
With
reposition,
and
what's
you have
the point?
to exhaust the card, so you're probably only going to be using it the one time.
So here's when you use it. You have the medic on board. You are facing like north and south. There's a guy just beyond range 1 that you really need to heal. You use Wedge to pivot so you're at 90 degrees, and now you're just close enough to heal him. Or something.
Yeah. Pro strat.
You'd use your reposition to do that, and then with Wedge you go back to the other way because you needed to be facing that way for some other reason.
Yeah, touch an objective.
Don't bother with Wedge.
That sounds bad.
But I will say it is fun thematically to imagine Wedge like piloting this little medic truck around or whatever. He's like, that's what he's doing with his day. He's like, I'm not going to go shoot AT-ATs or whatever. I'm going to drive this little truck. He's like your soccer mom. Like, imagine like putting him, like 3D printing a Wedge to put in there. That would be cool. That's all I think is worth for.
The Outer Rim Speeder Jockey, which is... now that could be good, because it just gives you cover 1. You put him as the pilot, you grab the Gank Droid, and now you've got a
super hard to
tough thing. Yeah.
Yeah, could be cool.
So I could see that getting some play. Ryder Azadi, worthless, because I think he just changes your compulsory move.
While performing a move, increase or decrease your maximum speed by 1.
Oh, while performing a move. I could have sworn it was compulsory. Never mind. I guess it counts for compulsory.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem super useful, but if you're really trying to race somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be useful. I don't know. It's only 5
speed,
points.
I mean, a speed 2 on that thing's big base would take you a long way. But it's an exhaust, so it's only going to be a one-time use thing.
Yeah.
Reiner Rosati would be great if it wasn't an exhaust. Make it 15 points and make it not exhaust. Then it's cool.
Yeah.
That's all of them. So let's look at the new ones. We got 3 new pilots. We got Hotshot Pilot. The art's pretty cool. It's just a Wookiee in the cockpit of this thing.
I think that one's from... I was going to say
the art looks new to me,
too, but maybe not. I think there
might be an X-Wing
card called Hotshot Pilot, but I don't think it's that art.
This might have been an alt art for that card, I want to say. Could be wrong, though.
Rebel only, repulsor vehicle only. So this one is less restrictive than those other ones that were like these 2 vehicles only. This one can go on other stuff later. Can it go on the T-47?
Yeah.
That's a repulsor vehicle.
Yeah, because that has a pilot slot, which is what Wedge came with.
You gain Sharpshooter 1. 8 points to get Sharpshooter 1. Not shabby. I don't know if I'd want to put it on the T-47. I feel like the Hotshot or the Outer Rim Speeder Jockey is like the best choice for the T-47 to get that extra cover to make it more survivable. But
T-47's already got cover 2, I think.
Did they? Because it had cover 1, and then the Hotshot came out.
I'm wrong. No, yeah. Well,
let me look.
Tabletop Admiral shows cover 1, unless they have like an unfixed version. It's probably just cover 1. Cover 2. No, yeah. I think I'm just talking crazy. I've put the Outer Rim Speeder Jockey in there for cover 2 before, I'm pretty sure.
Right, that's why it's like hard to want to use anything else on the T-47 if you're playing it. But Sharpshooter 1 sounds good. Seems like it would be better on the AA5 if you got either of those guns.
Mm-hmm. It's like low profile, so it's more likely to have cover in the way.
Seems
it's cool. I feel like for 8, that's a good bet. Be nice on the land speeder, because it applies to every attack. Yeah,
you got a lot more guns shooting off on there because that one's got arsenal. The next one's the Reckless Driver, only 6 points. I love the art. It's from like outside the cockpit, and you see this Snivian guy with some goggles driving through an explosion or something.
He's got a big old grin. He's having fun.
A snaggletooth. This one's AA5 speeder truck only. When you activate, perform a compulsory move. Okay. So that's a free move already. You cannot reverse. Fine. The first time during your activation that you displace an enemy unit, okay, so if you run into somebody, roll 1 white defense die for each mini in that unit. That unit suffers 1 wound for each block result. So basically this guy lets you try and run people over.
Yeah, he's hilarious. I love him.
It sounds really
fun. That
fun.
sounds great.
This is a vehicle with a really big base, and imagine, clipping 1 droid in a B1 unit, and you get to roll, 8 white dice and just for free smash these droids up.
I really want to get 2 now and just have a list that has 2 of these guys, just demo derby bros, who just zoom out ahead of everybody and just beeline straight for the enemy lines and tries to run them all over, make them scatter.
Yeah, but I mean, y'all are rolling those white defense die, so it's
still. And you put the Gank and the unstable astromech on it, so you get a little more health, but also at the end after you're done smashing them, you get that other free shot.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna die anyways if you're running in there. Might as well bring the droid. Yeah.
He's not useful against hitting a hero unit because you'd roll 1 die and probably do nothing. Well, unless if they have 1 health left, maybe you just try it just to get a free kill. Funny. But against a big squad, you could get a bunch of free health. I mean, they're going to be running like crazy to avoid it. The downside is it's speed 1.
Mow down a bunch of droids like B1s with it.
Yeah. It's only speed 1, but it's the long base, and now you add a compulsory, so you're moving faster.
Mm-hmm.
It seems cool. It's only 6 points. I feel like there's not really a downside.
The last new one, and apparently the hottest one. I love the art on this one. It's Shriv Surgav, a unique one, because he's a named character from the Battlefront 2 campaign and other stuff. He's cool. Rebel only, heavy only. So he can fly a T-47.
But not the
X-34.
No, that's a heavy.
Is that one support?
Yeah.
Oh, that
Or
is
it
a heavy.
I think all the pilot things that Rebels have right now are heavy, unless I'm forgetting something.
Oh, yep.
But
no, that's correct.
Theoretically, he could go in a non-repulsor, unlike some pilots if they got one. Doesn't matter.
So that's cool. Now I'm wondering how he would. Let's see if he would be good in the other two vehicles as well as the AA5. You gain Field Commander. After a friendly neutral command card is played, you be nominated as the commander. I haven't looked if they've updated the Field Commander rules. Can this unit be the commander of your army with no other commander in?
Yes,
okay,
that was a change to Field Commander.
So that's cool. So this truck could just be the commander of your army if you've got Shriv in there, which is awesome. And then it has, as a free action, choose a friendly trooper unit you're transporting or at range 1 to 2. It gains a dodge token and may gain a suppression token, which seems super good. I want to have a truck with Shriv, the field medic, and the Unorthodox Tactician, and he's just kind of chilling there, buffing everybody. Because handing out dodges, being able to heal them, handing out aims, all from the same thing for Shriv plus those other guys.
It'd be like 110-ish or something.
32 for those three, plus 75. Yeah.
107. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds. Shriv seems super good. It seems like he's probably the best in the speeder truck because it's going to live the longest, and you can pair it with those other two that also hand out buffs. But
yeah, and then you don't have to spend the points on a commander if you don't want to.
That's true. Yeah, and that gives you a lot more points
that lets
for
you
more.
run double operative if you want, and still have lots of points for other stuff.
Yeah, he would honestly be cheaper than some of the commanders, like the normal commanders. He seems like a really good support commander. Like you said, heal and be like really tough with armor. Handing out his token is a free action, and he's not a single use, so it just seems really good.
That seems super good. I want to. If he's on the air speeder, doesn't seem great.
It would be funny to have him flying around, but yeah, I feel like you need the slow, immobile thing.
The air speeder is always going to be too far away from friendlies most of the time. It's because it moves so fast, and it's trying to flank. The X-34, I think, is kind of the same deal. Better on there than the T-47, but
the truck seems better. I mean, it's fun to imagine the commander cruising around in a land speeder with a Gank in the passenger seat, you know.
I'd love give us another Luke Skywalker, but it's just a pilot card that has Field Commander and some other things. So you can have your commander be Luke in the snowspeeder.
And it could come with a special command card that lets you command multiple snow speeders, and it'd be called Attack Pattern Delta, and they get like a huge buff, and snow speeders are good again.
Luke Eddy, listening?
I wouldn't complain.
Maybe that'll just be the name of the episode. We should name all of our episodes that. Luke Eddy, are you listening? Something. So he has to listen to everyone.
Honestly, like, I feel like he would be a good, if you're sitting him in the back doing the support truck thing, I feel like you could, I mean, it's more expensive, but you could throw on the range 4 gun and like plink in some extra damage every round too. I feel like that would be
I like
terrible.
That. I want that. I want to do that. I probably won't right away, but I'm thinking about buying 2 of these. I usually only buy 1 of each new thing that comes out, except for like the unit upgrade dudes. And this one, I'm like, I kind of want 2, even though I probably should
Yes, so far the ATST is the only heavy that I've bought two of, but this one I kind of want to get two of just because, like we discussed on our last when we kind of talked about the mini extravaganza roundup, where there's just so many different paint job possibilities.
Right, we're almost there because I think all we have left to talk about is the new comms thing, there's only one new comms thing. The onboard comms channel, it's only worth 3 points. Looks like we got Aaron Kraken, is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
In the artwork. Now that looks more like an Unorthodox Tactician to me because he's yelling and he's angry and he's probably saying mean things.
Well, here's the thing. It's an onboard comms channel. He's obviously like a right-wing YouTuber type person. You know, like how they film themselves with their phone in their car. That's what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. During the issue order step of the vehicle only, so I guess you can put this on all sorts of stuff. You can put this on ATRTs, I guess.
And other factions, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this one isn't Rebel. During the issue order step of the command phase, after you are issued an order, you may issue an order to a unit you are transporting. So don't put it on an ATRT. Seems okay. I'd still, even with this and updated transport rules and stuff, I feel like I'm still probably not going to be transporting too many guys. Maybe fleet troopers. I love my fleet troopers. So maybe if I have I'm going with like the run them over pilot guy, I'll load some fleet troopers in there so he smashes into him and then those guys hop out and try and mop up the guys who just got ran over.
And then you have the medic on there to keep your fleet troopers alive.
Yeah, good point.
I'll put like a big cow catcher thing on the front of it so when I use that upgrade. That's all the new cards. This thing has me very excited.
There's a lot of cool options for different ways to build it.
Honestly, that strategy you just mentioned, we just like theory crafted right there, sounds like a lot of fun to try out. I don't know how effective it's going to be.
I'm bringing it to Worlds 2022.
But it sounds like it would be really, really fun and like thematic to play. Mm-hmm. Like, especially like you run in and do a pivot into a unit, and it's just like you can just imagine
drifting
like,
through this
like
squad.
this van coming and doing like a drifting slide just like right into the units, knocking them all down, and then fleet troopers hop out with their shotguns
shoot them in the face
before they can stand up.
Well, my other thought is like, would it be worth putting Wookiees in there? You know, it's a closed top transport. Suddenly, you're hiding them. They're safe for the couple rounds they run up, and then they jump out and get into melee. Would that be worth it?
Yeah. What are the best
things
to transport?
A Wookiee is hanging out the side of the door with a bowcaster in the art on the card. So it's like, obviously, that would be cool.
It's like a Da Vinci Code style hint, is like the artist is telling us this is the secret to victory. I'm not sure what the best thing to transport is. I haven't thought too much about transporting.
There's that. I mean, getting a Luke up front right away could be cool.
Yeah,
probably not. The other thing, like a lot of when the land speeder, the X-34 came out, a lot of people were like, oh, we can put R2 on it and rush him to the end zone for secret mission. But I don't think that would work well on the AA5 because it's slower.
Maybe though, like with the ramming one in there. Okay, like what about this? You put
but
R2 in there.
It's still only speed 1 and stuff, and like the X-34 had not only was it faster, but it had a compulsory move, so it could technically move 3 times a turn.
But this is still way faster than R2 normally moves. It keeps him from getting shot because it's a closed top. And so here's the thing. It's zooming along every turn. You have your Wookiees hanging out behind it for cover and like line of sight blocking or whatever. I guess line of sight would be blocked, but cover. And then they get into melee. You drop off R2. They jump back into the truck. You speed away. Think about
Yeah.
that.
R2's got to live though if you want to keep that point.
I feel like the problem though is if you try and zoom out ahead to drop off R2, you're just gonna get shot in your weak ass a whole bunch.
I assume
Speaking of getting shot, I have to look up the rules on transporting. Can the unit being transported perform actions and stuff that don't involve disembarking? Because then R2 could be repairing it from the inside.
Yeah, for a little bit.
He can heal 2 at a time twice, so like 4 total.
Yeah.
I think that's half its health.
I can't remember if they added free actions or whatever in or not. I feel like no.
Regardless, now let's back up to our support commander Shriv with the medic and the tactician just sitting in the backfield with the long range gun. Now you also put R2 next to it, or just a trooper unit with an R5 next to it.
Just to keep it alive, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I assume the answer is no, but would R2's special mission trigger while he's in the truck? Does he have to get out to trigger? I assume he has to get out, but
I think he has to get out because technically the mini is not
in play,
not on the table.
Yeah, so he wouldn't be
when they're
in
being
the
transported.
zone. Yeah,
I think
that'd
also
be
he
too
needs
good
a-
otherwise.
He has to take
I
a
could
soil
be
sample.
wrong, but I believe that's how the interaction is.
So, we've established that this will be the greatest expansion in the game. Possibly something they'll never be able to top, but let's talk about...
Well, here, I want to say one more thing, though.
Oh, yeah?
I think the way R2 works, you could get out, get your token, then jump back in and run off, right? You don't have to still be there at the end. You just
Right.
do your... Yeah, so actually, yeah, I think that would be great. You can jump out on turn 2 or 3 or whatever, trigger his secret mission, next turn jump back in, and like you don't have to protect him anymore.
Are you allowed to disembark and embark on the same turn, on the same activation?
I don't think so. I think that's
Because secret
explicitly
missions is a
disallowed.
free action, so you could disembark, secret mission, embark. But if you're not allowed to do that, then...
You'd have one turn out in the open, but with cover because it's blocking you, and then you would jump back in. Is it worth spending all that points on that one thing? Maybe. I think it'd be fun to try.
Yeah. Let's talk about all of the cool ways everybody should try and paint these. I've already got a huge list of things where I'm like, somebody needs to do this, somebody needs to do this. This is a good option. I still don't know what I'm going to do, but I have a lot of goofy ideas.
I will say, just to start it out, the default paint job they have in the art looks really good. Like a nice weathered beige with like red stripes. It looks very cool.
Yeah. I think you could take that and then make it look like an ambulance. I feel like...
Big plus sign on the side.
Yeah, or like the Star Wars has like a version of the Red Cross logo. That would be cool.
Like they have the clone medics have that symbol that you could put on there. I mean, beyond that, I think we've mentioned, like the 80s style, like wizards and airbrushed on the side of your van, anything like that. Or, I mean, or it's like it's perfect for anything like that, or like, I mean, any pop culture type thing. I mean, you could paint it white and slap a Ghostbusters symbol on there.
Right, Mystery Machine.
Kurt hates all these ideas right now.
I think you start with that wizard van idea, but you make it specifically the cover of the first Thrawn book, where you've got the bathrobe Jedi guy with the lines of light coming out of his hand. That would be like the perfect callback to throw right on the side. Some people are definitely going to do, Twi'lek nose art. I think that's a little gauche, but you will see it.
Another one I like, and this could be, you could do it your favorite real world one, or make a cool in-universe one. Make it look like a food truck, like a taco truck, or an ice cream truck. An ice cream van would be cool.
My Guido burrito.
Yeah, the My Guido burrito truck. You could
paint it up like like that like meme van you see where it's just like it's like a plain white van that has like free candy spray painted on the
That's
side
another,
of
but
it.
just the plain white surveillance van. It would be a good one, just painted all white. And yeah, you can just draw free candy, or I don't know what else you could do. You could put little FBI guys inside.
You know, that's when I check the Wi-Fi. When I try and log into Wi-Fi, like with my phone or whatever, that's always a network I pick up, is one called FBI Surveillance Van.
That's fun. Similar to the red stripe with the beige, it'd be so easy to do beige with a cool brown stripe, but you got the classic Winnebago look. Like that would be
Oh
perfect.
yeah.
I mean,
think it would look
black
good.
with a red stripe, and you've got like the A-Team van, and
Let me look up famous vans. I feel like a garbage truck could be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, you could do
vans.
all metal, like sort of a chrome look. I think with like a lot of rust and stuff weathering on there, like that could be kind of cool.
I'm getting a lot of shoe results for famous vans. Although I do see the Mystery Machine and the A-Team.
A-Team could like work in world. It's a
Ooh,
cool
here's
color.
one.
Mystery Machine's really weird color choices. Someone's
Okay,
gonna do it.
here,
Though.
I got one for you that's going to make you wish the Mystery Machine was the option. The Shaggin' Wagon from Dumb and Dumber.
Someone's gonna actually go with
I
green
feel
stuff.
like
and
that's
mold
like
it
that
on
could be
the
what-
thing.
that could be what Chris
Yeah.
Chris does for
Chris,
his.
Chris, this is just for you. Make the Shaggin' Wagon. Cover it with real fur.
Big green
Or
stuff ears.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
we need a well, either that or like I feel like ATST-chan is she's lonely and needs a friend to
Or a pet.
like a transfer student to show up at in her class.
Here's the thing I like. We should have a AA5 painting contest. And it could be like they do like Stormtrooper helmet ones, and then they like auction them for charity. We do that. Everybody just supply one, paint it real weird, get creative with it, and we'll auction them for something. You got the Jurassic Park van. You know, that one's more of an SUV, but still there's a color scheme.
There's the Jeeps actually have a kind of close to canon because they're tan and red. The Jeeps in Jurassic Park are kind of close to the default color scheme.
Here's a good one. I see that you could Thomas the Tank Engine. I'm looking at this weird like car version of that artwork. I could see someone doing Thomas the Tank Engine.
Sounds like a
Just blue.
great use of time.
Big number 1 on the side. How about an old VW like hippie van, surfer van, put some surfboards on top?
Like a love bug. What is it? Like a black stripe with a big number 6 or something. It's like your Herbie repulsor.
I could see somebody making the pussy wagon from Kill Bill, but I would hope they don't. The meth van from Breaking Bad.
I think the most interesting thing to think about is less maybe of like the paint schemes and more like what cool mods could you do to it. We already talked about like if there's a way you could attach a Gank droid or something. And I love what you said about having the Gank droid be like there's these like vents on top. You could have the head of the Gank droid sticking up like it's in an astromech slot. That would look really cool.
Shove them in the spot where the weapon turret is supposed to go. Just stick your Gank there.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And I mean, you could do the same thing with the whatever it was called, the unhinged astromech, the R5. Do the same thing and like stick it in there. That would look really cool. Like I said, I ordered a 3D printed Gank droid so I could attach it. At the time, I didn't know that there was an astromech, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to look and maybe do another Shapeways order here.
Oh
do
yeah,
the same
there's
thing.
like 2 circular vents on the top of that thing. It'd be perfect for like an astromech droid.
It would
Just
kind of look
magnetize
weird
them.
to just be standing on top, but I kind of just want to do that because it's a cool model. But like you said, just having the head stick out would be very awesome too. It would look weirder on the speeder though.
And
I'm going to
Maybe.
try. I have the Rebel Com person upgrade that I still haven't painted from that like original upgrade kit, and because she's got her right hand kind of holding the microphone, the comm link to her mouth, and the other hand like sideways shooting a blaster, and I'm gonna see if the hand holding the mic can be done so it looks like she's using that hand to hold on to the truck where the other
Swing out
hand
the
she's
door.
shooting out of it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm gonna see if that looks feasible.
I liked what you said earlier about putting the cow catcher on the front. You could take like my immediate thought was like a beard trimmer guard. Just chop that, stick the spikes right on the front of the nose. That would look cool. You could paint it up all rusty.
It would fit. The front of it already looks like that.
Yeah. I also want to know about mods for the pilot. So it's a Celestin pilot model, which is very cool, but that's the only model. Is that right?
That is, from what I've seen of the sprue, that's the only like mini that comes with it. Speaking of the sprue, one thing I did know, it does look like it should be fairly easy to make the roof removable if you want to do that. Because if you're gonna if you're gonna take the time to actually paint the interior, it'd be nice to be able to see it more than just through the little door on the side.
Yeah, the other thing I'm looking at here is you're going to have the option of having the side doors open or closed, and I'm wondering if it'll be simple to be able to swap that out.
Is there?
'Cause it looks like there's even a little ramp that comes down it.
Oh yeah, like little steps. That's
Yeah.
cool. Do we know what the back looks like? Is there a back door? Is there just engines or something?
There's engines
Okay.
on the back. I wish you could get I'd like to see somebody 3D print a like a turret car that looks like it slides out of the door,
like a sidecar.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, but I was trying to think of I know I've seen it in on some movie or show or something like that where a helicopter or something like that has a seat that the guy sits in and then it goes and slides out the side of the vehicle and he's got a Gatling gun or some shit on there.
Yeah. I think I would just do the default Celestin pilot and not mod him, but I mean, it's cool to think about mods. It'd be I want to have Shriv actually in the seat. You could take a head off a Rebel Trooper or a spare Cad Bane head or a 3D printed head or something and make Shriv be the pilot, or if you could 3D print someone and stick them in the passenger seat too. I love the art of whatever Derby pilot, I forget what he was called, the Snivian guy. That would be cool if you could get a head to use for that 3D printed.
Modding people to sit in the passenger seat probably shouldn't be too tough because you're probably not going to see below the character's waist much when they're sitting in the cockpit, so it's not really going to matter how your modding job is on cutting and chopping the legs to make them sit in the chair.
Yeah, you could chop the whole chair out and put a Gank droid in the passenger spot. And then have the windshield be magnetized so you can take it in and out.
Yeah, that's
a lot of work.
I need more astromech things because I have 3 R5 units, but they're all busy being actual R5 unit upgrades.
Yeah.
You could, what was I just thinking? You could, I don't think I wouldn't want to unless I had a bunch and more money than I have, but just make one be terrain. Because it's a good size, and you can make it look like, it's broken down. It's somebody's home that they've been living in. You got the little awning up and a campfire in there or something. Junk. Because it's just such a cool Star Wars-y, dorky looking vehicle. I bet it would look really cool to just rust up and make it look like someone's been living out of and just have it as terrain.
There's like laundry strung up on the side and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, even if you, that's a great point. Even if you don't play with it in your list, you could pop it off its base and set it on the table, like parked, like it's a speeder parked somewhere on your table as a piece of gas. Terrain.
So if someone asks you, can we get in and fly? I just say it's out of gas.
And I feel like you could mod it with like just extra greeblies and bits and stuff. Like you could attach engines or make your own engines and make it look like it has huge overcharged engines, or you could attach like cool custom things.
Get one of those like Bandai X-Wing model kits. That's they're a little small wings to be scale, but close enough to where you could like just take the engines and pop them on here and be like, all right, yeah, now it can move speed 3 now.
It's speed 3, but or no, you say it's speed 0, but it has a compulsory speed 3. That way, just because if you mess the compulsory up, you could hurt yourself.
I feel like the Ultimate mod and the Rebels should also do this, like in canon. If you could turn it into some type of transformer, like it unfolds and stands up, and now it's like a Rebel ATST, and it's like shooting and punching. Like if someone can pull that off with their model, that would be impressive.
Remember when they actually made those Transformer Star Wars vehicle toys,
like a tie that turns into Vader and stuff like that?
Yeah, they were really bad.
Yeah,
they looked really freaky in their robot modes, and I hated them.
What would be? I feel like crew, like if you permanently stuck, like you said with your comms person, like other crew that you could do would be cool. Like if you had spare Wookiees that you wanted to have hanging out the door, like in the art, or if you wanted to like mod the actual medic person and stuff like that as characters that are standing in the door, that could be kind of cool too.
Yeah, I might have to look through my old Wizards of the Coast minis, see if, because I have a couple like back to tank miniatures that might be, they might be too big to fit in there, but it would be fun cool to just like a back to tube, because it looked more like a storage container than something you would put a person into at the Legion scale. But I'm gonna have to look at that. Man, I need to. All those people who 3D print stuff or make the 3D models for Legion need to get up on making just all these interior decorations on a little Dejarik table I can put back there.
Yeah.
Like a cot, the medic, model all the crew.
Cape storage for Lando.
Yeah.
Because he would ride in it with Shriv, right? Like they would be friends.
Oh, that would be fun to have a Lando.
Yeah, because Lando's not going to be driving.
He's going to be standing on top. I wish there were rules that let you stand on top. Like you're not being transported. It's just you're on there, so when it moves, you move with it. Or you fall off and take a wound. You have to roll a save, see if you can keep your balance while it moves.
Here's a random another rules thing. If you're doing like a VIP, I don't think you can embark if you have a VIP, right?
What? Like if Lando's on there?
Like if you have a you're doing the VIP mission, like with Rune Heiko or whatever, Rio Chuchi, and you pull because they like join your squad or something, or even like you can't get in if you have boxes or anything, right? And like hide in there. I feel like you can't, but I'm not remembering.
I'm not sure. Definitely gonna have to look the embark rules over again. Yeah. There was one other thing I just thought of. Oh, yeah. I wonder if it would be fun or doable to come up with some kind of like... there was an old game on PlayStation 1 called Star Wars Demolition, which is basically just a demo derby. It's just like vehicles fighting each other. Do that, but with Legion, once this and the other one come out. Basically, you have one of each vehicle on the table, and they're each controlled by one player. And it's just last man standing, and you obviously have to figure other stuff out. I did a custom like mode sort of like that with hero figures that we played, and it kind of worked okay. It was a little different. It was there were two teams. Everybody brought one like unique figure, and then were put on 2 teams, but there was some special rules where you could change teams or force other players to switch teams until there was only 1 player left standing. But I think it would be fun to make some kind of demo derby where everybody controls 1 vehicle, even if it's imbalanced, because whatever, it'd just be goofy. You just have to
shows up with like their little stab or
yeah.
Hey, he would be real dodgy though.
I'm gonna have to think of some rules for that, and then find enough people who would want to bother doing that. I think everyone would maybe gang up on the ATST until that was taken care of. I think that's going to do it for our discussion of the greatest Legion expansion ever created, the AA5 speeder truck. Oh, that was the one other thing when I was talking about truckers. You could put the big rig exhaust tubes going out the top of it. Chrome.
Yeah, I mean, for like Warhammer 40k, people go crazy with like vehicle mods with like these orc Mad Max. Oh man, you can have like rusty Mad Max spikes sticking out of it.
Dead stormtroopers strapped to your hood.
Dude on the top, just like playing guitar.
Flamethrower. Yeah,
flamethrower, flames out of his guitar.
Can write "Witness Me" along the side. I kind of want to have like a dead stormtrooper like strapped to the hood.
I was gonna say you could do like the thing like for whatever reason you often see truckers with like teddy bears strapped to the front of their trucks. I don't know why, but yeah, you could totally do the same thing. Like just have like a stormtrooper like embedded in like that grill on the front of it.
You could stick like a dead Minox in there, like they're mosquitoes in your grill. You know, I'm sure people are gonna stick like Ewoks in there or something cheesy.
Okay, well, everybody, tell us your best idea for painting and modding the AA5 speeder truck over on our Discord and the painting and crafting channel. That's been another episode of the JodoCast. This is how we end the show when Evan's not here. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.